Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome or welcome back. We have the team members here. Unconditional love and light. Our highest source herself is in the house. Just got out of a detox bath a while ago. I took a detox bath this morning instead of working out. I journaled this morning, had a coffee, had some watermelon, and decided to take an early detox bath, grounding bath, both. I was detoxing and grounding at the same time. Rainy and cloudy today. Got a good walk in yesterday. So this video feels like it's talking about this time of integration from everything you've been receiving and nourishment. So continue to hydrate, add extra salt to your water. Make sure you're getting good salt that's not loaded with heavy metals, because you're just basically defeating the purpose. Do detoxes, heavy metal detoxes. Get in touch with the herbs and supplements that you feel called to, or you've been getting the signs and synchronicities that will help with heavy metal detoxes. Activated charcoal, be mindful. Detoxing through juices, through baths, through saunas, through all of the stuff. Breath work, all of these things will help keep your detox pathways open. And especially right now, you might be going through some detox symptoms. Runny nose, sore throat, maybe something even deeper. They're spraying the skies again, so now we're detoxing from the bullshit in the sky. It's been better, but they were spraying the skies again the last few days. And if you pay your attention, you know this, and it's not a fucking conspiracy theory. They are basically spraying our skies with heavy metals and nanotech, okay? But again, it's not something to what's the word I want to say, get caught up in giving your energy away. That be aware of that, and take your power back by cleaning house, cleaning your temple in all the ways, and just stay on top of it. All right, and the symptoms will be less. If you're suffering from a lot of symptoms, you've got a lot of toxins in the body, you've got a lot of junk buildup, and that can be associated to deep-rooted stuff. Physical stuff can be, again, connected to the stuff that you haven't cleared up, and that can come through the physical body, through snot, coughing, mucus, diarrhea, urinary stuff, digestive stuff. Skin breakouts, pimples, hives, itchy bumps, itchy ears, gunk in the eyes, blurred vision. There's so many. Please go, if you don't know, go look at Ascension symptoms. There's a lot. Then basically Ascension symptoms are very correlated with detox symptoms. If you've done detox protocols like I have for a long time, many years, again, when I'm called and guided to. And there's many ways that you can do, but again, the more you get in tune with your clear knowing and clear sentience, your clear feeling, you can tap into, do muscle testing, and tap into those herbs and those foods and the nourishment that you need. That's going to help you with more ease and grace through this period. You might have headaches, pressure in the head. Essential oils are very helpful for a lot of things. Yeah, so just be mindful. And so like my detox bath today, I took ginger powder, organic ginger powder, and you can use ginger oil, but be mindful when you're working with essential oils always, and how oil and water work or not together. Epsom salts, baking soda, and geranium and tea tree oil. So a lot of detox and sweating. You can consume ginger. Ginger will help you cleanse the blood, clear the blood. Always check the herbs if you're still on any pharmaceuticals, which I hope at this point, you know what you should or shouldn't be still doing. Again, it's just mindfulness. All right, always check with your practitioner, because some herbs will interact poorly with herbs. All right, but there might be a solution on an herb-based situation versus the the RX. All right. Yeah, so that was my detox bath, and then I wrap up and I sweat it out. And then I basically, like I said, I hydrate a lot. I've been adding a little extra salt to the water, so make sure you're, check the salt. Different salt contents might have more heavy metals and things like that. You just want to be going up against the wall. Again, if you're being called to quit eating certain things, listen to that. You're going to get these nudges, and you're going to probably, if you're not listening to the innate intelligence of your physical body, your physical body is going to tell you to stop in certain ways, whether it will knock you on your ass, and you'll get sick, you'll end up injured, you'll get massive digestive issues, whatever it is. you know, and you need to surrender to the fact, and this was one of the hardest things for me coming from the health and wellness and nutritional 20 plus years, was to surrender to the fact that I needed just, if my body needed this food this day, that was perfect. And not telling my body that it needed this food this day or that day. And then also with the fitness, trying to tell my body that this is how I'm going to force you to do this day or that day, versus what does my body need this day or that day for movement or no movement or whatever. All right, so that's why I think that's a big part of why I'm guided to share this. I just did another video on something else that Source wants me to share with you today. Is that was a hard thing, you know, because there's a lot of programming in that, there's a lot of programming conditioning everywhere, but that's a big one, especially for women. When women are being promoted to be like men, I really had to step back and look at that, what was going on there. With the heavy lifting and this harsh, rigid, stiff, that's not what women are meant to do. Women are meant to be more, not that women can't lift weights and do things like that, but women are meant to be more soft, more flowy, and not so hard and rigid, okay? And I know a lot of women might disagree, that's fine. I just know from being in the business and having done many things, many ways, shapes, and forms, because I was still caught up in the programming and the conditioning and the belief system, the bullshit, the big plate of bullshit. I started seeing things from that higher perspective, and just said, this is enough. But again, that's a form of how the enemy will also keep you distracted in chaos and injured and broken, and because they're feeding off you. If you've got certain energies and frequencies feeding off you, that's another way just to keep you distracted, to not pay your attention, that I need to listen to the innate intelligence of my physical body. How many people have digestive systems? That's sacral, solar plexus, and root chakra shit that you need to address at the root cause. And that could be core wounds around inner children, young children, your young child, your inner child, hurt, pain, trauma, whether it's big or little. All right, that's addressed there, right? Hello, how many people have, I mean, telling you, I can tell you, I had them myself, but you see it. And then you see all the fixes. How do you fix that? You address the root cause. And the root cause is usually not associated with any type of fitness or food protocol or RX, or you can use herbs to support, but herbs are the same things. When people are like, oh, I'm going to take this herb to fix this problem, it's still going on. I'm going to take a pill to fix this problem because it's part of the programming and conditioning. And that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to give the example, and I've said this before in my videos. Once I basically just surrendered it, all of it, let it all fucking go. And it's like, all right, when I move, I move. When I sit, I sit. When I somewhere in between. When I flow, whatever. I walked yesterday. I didn't work out today. I took a bath. Tomorrow I might move. I might work out, I might lift some weights, but my weights are like full body, mobility, lightweight type workouts. Fun, sweaty, dancy type workouts. And it brings me joy. I get a lot of downloads when I work out. So not only do I get downloads during my baths and showers, because I usually listen to a lot of high vibrational music on both. Same thing with my workouts. I get a lot of downloads and information during my workouts. So because I'm getting downloads more and more, and I'm getting all the signs, synchronicities, and codes, it's like I'm stopping in my workout and doing my journaling and getting the codes and getting I hear a song, and that word and that phrase is triggered me to write something down because Source wants me to do a video, that type of thing. So I am doing I just got a big flash of light over here to my right. So I'm seeing more of these orbs too. The colors, the angles of light, the purples, the whites. They're more purpley and white and blue right now. Sometimes they're kind of a gold color, and they're definitely increased. So maybe, I don't know, it's 911 on the timer. Fast energy. So I'm here to remind you that you are not going to wither away if you quit eating flesh. If you're being called to quit eating animal flesh, especially beef, I would start there. I would maybe see if you can search, if I can find the video. I saw this video 2 or 3 years ago. Like, the team just threw it in my algorithm, and I did write it down in one of my journals. And at that point, I was eating a lot of flesh at that point, like heavy protein, flesh-based protein. And I thought to myself, oh, I've done those types of protocols where you transition out and, back to veganism naturally. I've done veganism, but it was forcibly trying to get results because it was the thing to do, We've all been there and done that, maybe. 10 on the clock, 10 minutes at 10. Completion and new beginnings. And I had to surrender to all of that. And now it's like, oh, that's what she was talking about. Because what happened was at the end of 2024, I was innately guided to quit eating. I'd already quit eating like beef and bacon type stuff. And then I slowly transitioned out of that from like birds, like fowl, like turkey and chicken and fish. I didn't really eat a lot of fish. And then by December of 2024, I'd removed like all like eggs and dairy. And basically for an entire year, I was just completely whole foods, plant-based. Not because I told my body that's what it was going to do. My body told me that's what she was going to do. just like I got the ick from the foods. Like I got complete food aversions or got extremely nauseous or I had all the signs and symptoms. And I'm like, I better fucking listen the fuck up. And I already knew at this point that things were transitioning. Like internally, I knew like innately, and people around me, the few people that were around me at the time just didn't get it. I'm like, y'all been around me long enough that I've really learned to listen to my body. And at some point between 2023 and 2024, I'm like, yeah, I can't keep telling my body what to do when it comes to food and fitness. I need to start listening to her and let her lead and guide me. And that's what I did. And it's one of the best decisions I made, you know, when it came to nourishment. And in my old version, if my old version saw, like, if I were to, like, give my old version a nutritional, like, they'd be like, what the fuck? It's all over the place. And it's been even all over the place in the last 4 months, right? I think it was in December, January, I had some fish for the first time, some fish for the first time in over a year. Because I was guided to, it was like shellfish, and didn't eat it again for months and months and months and months, and then again just basically plants and fruit and all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm like, fuck, I need some eggs and I need some like cottage cheese. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, really. So I went through a phase of like 4 or 5 days of just cheese, cottage cheese and eggs and vegetables and fruit. I'm like, okay. And then so I tucked the cottage cheese and eggs away and like, we're not going to do this for a while. Then all of a sudden I got this urge that I need the nutrition from the eggs again. So I'm like, all right, I guess we're doing eggs again. And we're like, yep, we're doing eggs again. A little bit of cottage cheese. I'm like, all right, we need more sweet potatoes, or we need more fruit, or we need more of this, or we need more greens or whatever. So it's constantly different. I have no idea 12-4-4 on the timer what I'm eating from day to day. I don't think about it. I don't care about it. I don't worry about it. When before, that's all I was consumed. They consumed me to such a degree with the nutrition and the fitness. It consumed me. There was a reason for that. The enemy had me massively distracted, and that was a way of distraction for me. And if you know, you know. It doesn't have to resonate. This whole message, 1313, doesn't have to resonate with everybody, but parts of it might. But if you're heavily consumed by what you're consuming or what you're doing, you're really attached to that, there might be a reason in the unseen that you don't quite understand. And that's usually the enemy, okay? Using things to create chaos and destruction and attachment. When basically what you need to do is detach from every fucking thing possible. Literally, no bullshit, you detach. 13-4-4 on the timer, which you add 1 + 3 is 4, 4, 4. 4, 4, 4, 4 is significant. You need to detach from everything, and just listen to your innate intelligence, meditate it, have a conversation with your body. What do you need me to eat today? Or what do you need me to eat in the next few days? And don't really plan it out. Just have things available to you. So yeah, I've been consuming, again, more eggs and more cottage cheese. And sometimes I will just go mostly fruit all day and maybe have some oats or something like that. You know, it's just very simple, single ingredient type foods. And, you know, you don't need to create a bunch of things. If your body is telling you not to eat broccoli because it's digestively telling you not to eat broccoli, but somebody else is telling you to eat broccoli because that's going to make you healthy and you're going to get these results, listen to your fucking body. Quit eating the broccoli. Maybe you need something like romaine lettuce instead, you know? That's for somebody. Quit forcing your body to consume things. Even if they're of the plant kingdom, they're not going to maybe resonate with where your avatar is at and where your avatar is going, what your avatar is going through right now during this ascension process, during this awakening process, through these activations, these downloads, these upgrades, these recalibrations, these genetic DNA, biological, evolutionary changes. You're becoming less dense. So because you're becoming less dense physically, literally, you will need less dense foods, aka meat and potato bullshit. Okay? And you know, this is always with love and experience, a lot of personal experience with this. This is why Source has me have these conversations. I'm in the tub and I'm like, she's like, all right, we need to talk about this today and we need to talk about that today, because this needs to go out into the field, because somebody needs to hear this, because they're still struggling with A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm like, all right, we'll do that. And we just get into channel and flow mode. And I've got full body chills right now. So I know that's confirming for somebody on the other side of the sacred portal that I speak the truth. I'm not telling you something that you don't already know. You may have been trying to avoid it, but you already know. You feel it, you know it. You're getting the signs and the symptoms when it comes to the nutrition in the food. So please get into the herbs, into the oils. There's plenty of study on this stuff. You know, when Source cleared my path, my sacred work and my sacred purpose became my healing and research. And basically not research in the matrix sense, is my research came from podcasts, it came from super conscious conversations, tarot readings, channeled messages, and signs and synchronicities and codes and decoding, because that's my schooling. That's how I've learned in my business, is self-taught and education. It wasn't learned in a classroom. I learned nothing, pretty much nothing, from a matrix classroom, 1707. And if you're here, you're probably resonating with that. The most education you've received is by educating yourself, by tapping into the universal field, the universal energy, and allowing it to lead you and guide you to the perfect podcast, to the perfect channeled message, to me, to a tarot reading, whatever it is. Because you're getting information, whether or not you've been asleep and now you're awake and you're like, fuck, the enemy's been attacking me since my childhood? Fuck me. I've not been able to manifest because of what? And then you get curious, and because you keep the ego curious, and then you start like journaling, and you're like, fuck, you know? Just like yesterday, it's like I see the codes everywhere. We're at the point where we're decoding like everything. 111. I looked down and it was 222 on my watch when I was walking. I flipped over to see what time it was. It was 11:11. I flipped back and my watch said 24:24. I saw, like I said, 3 geese fly overhead in the air. Then I looked up and I saw 3 sand cranes fly overhead, which I've never seen sand cranes. And then I walked a little further and 6 turkey crossed my path. So it's like communication, air, ground, windy yesterday, 1822. All of these numbers, they're codes. Everything's frequency, energy, and codes and mathematics. And if you learn how to decode that in many ways, I'll look deeper into that and be, just because you're becoming more present and aware. In the past, I might not have seen any of that. And they're literally happening one after another. I'm like, what the fuck? All right, it's just more confirmation that I'm grounded. I'm receiving spiritual communication, another awakening, which I've been getting this. I'm going through another awakening. There's air energy, there's communication energy. You're going to receive this. When you receive this information, make sure when you embody that, fully ground that into all these different things. Does this resonate? All right, we kind of went off the tangent. I'll probably talk about that in another video. So listen to the innate intelligence of your physical body when it comes to nutrition, health and wellness, supplementation. Quit telling your physical avatar what it needs. Ask it. Allow it to guide you and lead you, just like you are allowing your highest to guide you and lead you. Your physical avatar will guide you and lead you and will not stray you in a wrong direction. If it's guiding you to eat less, don't question it, just eat less, hydrate more. If you're guided to eat more, don't question it. Because it's different from moment to moment, hour to hour, day to day, and month to month. And you have to completely detach from all of the other programming that you were caught up in. Okay? That is your message. I'm you, you are me, and we are we, and I love you from the bottom of my heart. Bye.